Hi guys! Welcome back. This is the second episode now, and I've been trying really hard to get it done for the last few days, and everything just consistently kept going wrong. I've dropped this painting, completely ruined it 2 or 3 times now, and finally I'm just like, we're just gonna wing it, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, because I'm not stressing myself out over it anymore. Today I do not have Rue. She's actually in the other room. I have Jax and Jada in here with me because they're feeling kind of lonely, so I just figured I'd bring them in. And this week we are going to talk about auras. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when I started looking at this topic, it wasn't something that I really knew a lot about. So I learned just so much in this last week or so, and I started this project going. I wanted to start it before I started filming, just because this was a really long piece, what I was inspired by, and I didn't want to film all of that. So we're gonna get started on that, and we're gonna talk about some auras this week. First off, there is 7 layers of an aura, which I had no idea. Like, I just thought that, oh, you have one part of an aura, that's totally fine. And so I found that out, and I thought that was really interesting. So that's what we're gonna go with this piece. And I guess that different ones can be different colors. Some of them have more set colors. I just went with what I felt, and it's my aura. I can do whatever I want with it. So we're gonna start here and go from there. So essentially what an aura is it's your vibe. It's the energy that's emanating off your body in like this cool halo-like business, which, you know, at first for me, that was just something I had never even, I had heard about them. Actually, quick story time. When I was younger, there was this guy in my local hometown who he attracted a lot of attention because he was super eccentric, but I loved him, and, you know, I always made it a point to talk to him whenever he came around, and we would have conversations. You know, sometimes it would be like he'd be telling me about the reptilian people who lived in the gutters and the sewers and stuff, or sometimes, you know, the conversations varied a lot. But one day he came up to me and he like looked at me and he was like, "Sydney, you have the most beautiful aura I have ever seen." He's like, it's beautiful. He's like, it's pink, and you just have like this gold emanating from it. He's like, it's gorgeous. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like that was the best compliment I've ever received in my entire life. But other than that, that essentially was where my stint with what an aura came to an end. That's all I've ever really known. So I want to talk about this because I just feel like it's a cool topic to talk about, and it's something that has a lot of meat to it. So I was like, well, you know, some people might like it, some people might not. So we're going to talk about, firstly, the 7 different layers, the 7 different types of layers, and what they mean and what they represent. One thing that I wanted to point out was that each one of these layers is directly tied with one of your chakras, but I'm really not going to go into that a lot today because I want to wait and do separate episodes for each chakra, because I feel like there's a lot of meat there too. And this one was a heavy hitter for information, and I don't feel like I could squeeze all of them in together. It just doesn't feel even possible. Like, it's just a lot. So we're going to start with the first layer, the one closest to your body. It's like maybe 1 to 2 inches, give or take, away from your body, and it's called the etheric layer. And I'm going to let you all know right now, there's going to be times I pronounce things wrong, okay? I have this thing in my brain where I know what words are, but I don't know how to pronounce them sometime. I grew up in Allegheny County, just leave me alone. Here's the closest one to your body, and this is the one that is super tied to your physical well-being. You know, this is where it's tied to your organs and everything on the inside. Physically on the inside. Not that what's on the inside doesn't count or matter, but it does. That's a whole different layer, and we'll get into it. So this is where you're going to see like a lot of illness if someone is sick, or, you know, sometimes I guess if it's murky, or hazy. That can sometimes indicate illness. So this is the first layer, the one closest to the body, and that has everything to do with yourself physically. So then next we have the emotional layer. This is the one that ties into your feelings, your emotion. I just assume that mine is like a little chaotic. I'm assuming it probably has every color in there because I just have every emotion ever. So that's the second layer. The third layer is the mental layer. This is the one where your ideas, beliefs, everything along that lines. This is also where you're going to find a lot of mental health issues. You know, if you suffer from something and someone's reading your aura or you're doing aura photography, this is where they'll be able to see, you know, I guess, if you're crazy. I mean, it's fine. I'm crazy too. I have a lot of manic energy today. I took my meds though, so it's okay, guys. Don't worry about it. But I will say, you know, if you can't make your own serotonin, store-bought is fine. Okay? It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, there's my little rant about mental health, and I know everyone suffers. It's fine. So that's going to be your third layer. That's going to be your mental layer. Everything. That's going to be your third layer. That's going to be your mental layer. Everything that has to do with that. Once you get to the fourth layer, this is the one where it starts to get like a little bit more, I don't want to say eccentric, but kind of eccentric, a little bit more spiritual, I guess. So this is the astral bridge layer. And this is where, you know, it really comes into play with your love and your well-being, but it also has a lot to do with it's like a peephole to your soul, to your spiritualness. So that's where it starts to get a little bit more into not just physical or mental beings of yourself, but a little bit more into the spiritual part of yourself. Just like it's like the brink of it. Like you're not fully there, but you're there. So that's layer number 4. So layer number 5 is going to be, I want you guys to know that I modeled this after my own hips, which is really kind of strange, but we're just, hey, it's fine. So, where was I? Squirrel brain. Okay. We were at, okay, I think I'm saying this right, the etheric temple layer. This is the one that has a lot to do with a lot of truth, identity, who you are as a person, you know, and just what makes you you. You know, we talked about what's on the inside that counts. Well, apparently it's not. It's whatever's on your etheric temple layer that counts. It's okay if no one laughs at my jokes because I do it for everyone. I do it enough. Yeah. So, oh my Lanta. It looks like I just painted blood all over me. This is, ooh, okay. Alrighty. Let's get back on topic here. So we're going to the 6th layer. This is the celestial. The celestial layer. This is the layer that has to do a lot with the like connection to the divine, whatever you believe in. You know, you might believe in God, you might believe in gods and goddesses, you might just believe in Mother Earth. I'm not here to judge, but this is where that layer comes into. So I guess if you were like really connected with that part of yourself and that part of the universe, I'm sure yours is probably like super bright. I don't know. I wish I could say that I see these all the time. I don't. I have been practicing, which we'll get into a little bit. But it's not something that comes really natural to me. I wish it did, and I have a couple awesome witchy friends and everything who do practice this and can see pretty well. Me, on the other hand, is just not. I've been practicing, though. So, I'm sorry. I ended up deleting a bunch of my footage on accident, so it's going to look like my picture is completely done. because it is. Yay! So I'm just going to mess around with it a little bit. We're going to continue talking what we were talking about. I'm really bummed out about it. I think I may have hexed myself this week because it's just been like one thing after another, but I can't really do anything about it. You know, I'm not going to be upset yet. Maybe I'll cry later, but right now I'm okay. But we were talking about, you know, being able to see auras and practicing, and we're going to get a little bit into that later. I just wanted to talk about the last level of auras that we have, which is the etheric, etheric. That's what I'm going with. Whatever. This is the one that like holds together everything and just kind of makes it your little aura burrito. So that being said, with that is the 7 layers of your aura. This is the one that really has a lot to do with your connection to the universe, your psychic abilities, your chakras. Maybe if I would have been in tune with mine, I would have seen the fact that I was going to accidentally delete all my footage coming. But what can you do? The one thing that I think is really cool about this layer, though, I will say this, is that it can, I don't know if I want to say cool, but wild, is that it can span up to 5 to 7 feet. And when I think of that, I just think of like being on the subway or the bus and I'm just touching everyone's auras with my auras, and there's just something incredibly gross and dirty about it. Keep your aura away from me. 7 feet, that's a lot. That's taller than I am. That's just that's so much. So that because of your like the way that you're touching other people's auras and you're getting all dirty, you dirty birdie, you do have to cleanse your aura. Shocking, I know. One way that you can cleanse your aura is by saging it, you know, cleansing it, smudging it, like you would your house. It doesn't have to be sage. You can use other things to smudge. We'll get into that in a later episode because everyone needs to know that. But you can smudge it. You can... Anyone want to guess this one? I feel like we talk about it all the time. It's... meditation. Yes, correct. Come on down. No one's here. I'm just messing with you guys. But meditation is a good way to cleanse your aura as well. And on top of that, we're looking at positive affirmations. That one really resonated with me, that the more positive affirmations that you give yourself, you give other people, that it could really kind of cleanse your aura and make you feel better, which I think that's a really sweet gesture to begin with. So now we're going to talk about the different color auras that you could possibly have. The way that I took this is like the aura the color that's most prominent, because there's so many different layers, and the different layers can be different things. And some people say that, you know, the 7th layer is gold, and it's always gold. But so what I took away from this is the color that people see for your aura is the most prominent color on your spectrum. So if people who have a red aura are super passionate, powerful, just really almighty up in here. So those are your red people. You know, you've got your orange people who are really symbolize like strength. They're really strong people. They have really great relationships with other people as well. I mean, get you an orange person, I guess. Go boo. That's what I'm gonna start. Like I'm happily married, but if I wasn't, I would start asking people what color their aura is in my dating profiles. And if they were like, I guess all of them have good attributes, but I mean, all of them could have negative attributes too. That being said, get you an orange. And then we have a pink, which supposedly is what I'm feeling. So the pink people are super caring, you know, they're super gentle, sensitive, they're natural healers, they're creative, they're all around just sparks of joy in the world. And then you've got your yellow people. These people are super confident, leaders. They have great self-esteem. You want to pass that off to me? Just asking for a friend. Just kidding. I definitely ask for me. And then you have your I'm sorry, guys. I just find this really funny because I just don't imagine how I'd react if someone came up to me and was like, your aura is tan. Just imagine that. Just imagine like being so stoked about finding out what your aura is and like, yeah, you're tan. But they have really great attributes. You know, they're logical, they're detail oriented, they are analytical. I already said logical, but you know, apparently they're super logical. So all these things that I'm really not. So I think that they're just like the opposite of me, which is fine. Those people need to exist too. And then you've got like your green people. These are like super peaceful, your little hippy dippy, balanced, loving friends. And then you've got your blue people. These guys are caring, nurturing, protective. Just all of these have really good attributes, in my opinion. I think they all have something to give. And then you've got your purple people. You know, they're super intuitive, they're super charismatic and powerful beings. I think that's really cool. So all of these layers just work together, you know, to make you. And sometimes they're ever changing. They're not going to always be the same. Like maybe when I was younger, I was red, and now I'm older and I'm pink, and I was just shaped differently as I got older, and that was how it was meant to be. I don't know. So they can change. You know, it's not anything that's ever has to be stagnant, especially like your emotional layer. Like I don't think that's ever, you know, you're feeling different emotions all the time, so I can't imagine that that's going to stay still. You can do oral photography or oral. I'm sorry, it sounds like I'm saying oral, but it's just this New York accent thing. So oral photography, I thought was like, I was under the impression that this started like, I guess like auras were a big thing in the 70s. Like that just made sense to me. But when I was doing my research, it turns out that the oral photography actually started in 1939. I was a little speechless on that, honestly. Like, I don't know. If that question ever comes out for, like, I don't know, trivia, like, I'm going to be the only person that's like, 1939, 1939. So those are all the real cool, you know, aspects about that. You can see them, you can photograph them, and people can analyze them for different things. Some people use them to find sickness, you know, for that first etheric layer. Maybe you can't figure out what's wrong with you, and you know they'll be able to, or you think something's wrong with you but you're not sure, and they take these photographs and they analyze it. Because essentially what it is this electromagnetic field running around you. And everyone has it. The earth has it, plants have it, animals have it, people have it, everyone has an aura. It's not something you escape. Just accept the aura and I guess move on, I don't know. And I did want to talk a little bit about how you can practice seeing auras if it doesn't really come naturally to you. You can start by practicing on yourself, or you can practice on other people. Essentially what you want to do is you want to put them up against a white surface. A white wall would usually be best, and you stare at the white wall or surface and use your peripheral vision to look at your hand or the person, and you'll start to, don't focus on them, focus on the wall. And when you see that, you'll start to see an outline. And the more that you practice, the more prominent they become, the better you will getting it. You know, I mean, practice, practice, practice. That's what they always tell you in everything. And it's so true in witchcraft, too. Like, it's so true. Or spiritualism, or whatever you want to call this. Because I don't know. I don't like labels. Here I am. So I just wanted, I'm really bummed that we didn't get to finish or do this journey together, but I am super happy with the outcome, and I'm never going to make that mistake again. Good Lord. I appreciate everyone. I appreciate everything that we do together. I'm so excited about this, and every day is a learning opportunity for me with this, and I hope I learned a lot this week. I hope you guys learned some things. Don't roast me too much on the fact that I can't pronounce words. I appreciate that. But I love you all so, so much. Thank you guys for hanging out with me again. You guys freaking rock. And I love you. Be safe. Thanks for hanging out. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. You know, comment if you want to. If you have something that you want to add to this video and you're just like, hey, Sydney, like this is something that I know about auras and I, you know, would really like it if you could touch that in your next video, maybe make a comment. Or if there's a topic that you really want to see, I am just winging it here, so do not be afraid to talk to me about things. And I love you all so much. Thank you guys again. I can't talk about how much I really like this. But thank you. Much love from your favorite chunky, funky witch bitch. Bye, guys. I'll see you next week.